Hey, what's up guys? We're here for my Week 6 matchup versus Adam, coach of the Kansas City Kakunas in the NPL. Now, if you didn't know, we are 4-1 in the NPL, and we are the coach of the Borussia Darkrai, as you can see on your screen right now. So we're doing pretty good in the league. This is a brand new league that I'm joining this year. And honestly, going from where we are now versus Adam, this is totally different. I look at his team and I see almost 0 switch-ins for half of his Pokemon versus my Pokemon. So it's really going to be difficult to not only build a team, but build a successful team and try to win this game. So I won't stall you anymore. I'll get right into it. His team is Mega-Blastoise, Kyurem-Black, Clefable, Galvantua, Diggersby, Emboar, Gourgeist, Drapion, Bronzong, Regirock, and Tornadus Incarnate. So Tornadus Incarnate, if you guys did not know, it's the one that is currently, I believe, in Borderline 2 of UU. And it is the one that is just a mono flying type. Still has the ability Prankster, but is definitely less threatening than something like my Thundurus. So yeah, not too bad. The other teammates on his team, such as Mega-Blastoise, I don't really have much for it. I have Thundurus to potentially OHKO it, but I'm gonna have to run a lot of investment in that. Blastoise is actually very bulky, has fantastic coverage, a good rapid spin user as well, so this thing's actually going to be quite a bit of a problem, just because of the fact that not a lot of my team can appreciate something like an Aurora Sphere, Dark Pulse, or Ice Beam, because he could have any 3 of those, and that is counting Scald, Surf, Hydro Pump. He could run one of those as well and just totally blow me back with that too. So yeah, Mega Blastoise, looking at that, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to go down the list and tell you why each one is so threatening to me. Just because Mega Blastoise's coverage options are so very, I guess, abundant that he could use. He could even throw Flash Cannon on something if he wanted to hit maybe my DNC or something like that. But anyway, Mega Blastoise, crazy good coverage. I don't necessarily have a lot of switch-ins because what I do beat it with needs a free switch-in because it's just going to pack a punch. As for the other members of his team, the most threatening thing by far is the Kyurem-Black. If you guys look at my team, I don't really have too much for it. Once again, my team is Mega Pinsir, Latios, Thundurus. What else? I got the... Hang on a second, guys. Let me pull up the official image on my phone just to tell you guys. So I got the Mega Pinsir, Latios, Thundurus, Mamoswine, Meloetta, Blastoise, Gorbis, Cofagrigus, Diancie, Pangoro, and Steelix. So looking at that roster, there is nothing on my team that can take like everything from a Blastoise. There's nothing on my team that will resist every single type of move it gets, just because it gets so many options. Like there's just nothing I can honestly do about it. I guess Cofagrigus would be the best check to it. Never mind. Forget I said that. It has Dark Pulse. Maybe the Meloetta Pirouette, like if I transformed, but still, it's not that good. It still hits me with Stab Water, so Mega Blastoise, that's a problem. Now let me get into why Kyurem-Black is a problem. If you look at Kyurem-Black, my main Dragon Resist, I have one Dragon Immunity, and that's DNC, but it has options like Earth Power, and Iron Head to hit that thing very, very hard, so DNC no longer necessarily a check to it. If I want to run Steelix, same issue. It has Earth Power. It could run Hidden Power Fire if it really wanted to. It could run just Ice Beam. Ice Beam hits me for neutral damage, and I'm not going to be appreciating it. Steelix's Spadef is not that great. So once again, it outspeeds Steelix. Yeah, I just don't necessarily have a great matchup versus his team. His team beats mine on paper 100 times over. I have awful matchups versus his team. If you look at my fighting type that I want to potentially bring, Pangoro, he has Clefable, so I mean, I do get moves like Poison Jab, Gunk Shot, and I believe Iron Head. But then again, he could just run any kind of berry he wants, and any kind of Moonblast hit, even if I'm running Roselia Berry, is I'm pretty sure it's going to be doing a massive amount of damage, and there's no point in for me to run a Roselia Berry. Then again, he is very prone to sweep. Gorbis is nice to bring this match, but other than that, guys, like, just endless amounts of threats on his team. I don't really have many switch-ins for anything. Diggersby, almost everything is a one-hit or two-hit KO. Galvantua can set up webs, so everything on his team pretty much just outspeeds me. I only have one way of stopping webs, and I'll show you that in here, or I'll show you that in a second. Emboar, what is my Emboar switch in? Reckless, Flare Blitzes, Wild Charges, Superpowers, Sucker Punch, so my Latios can't just outspeed it and kill it. Drapion, it can trap my Latios. It's just a pain in the ass because the only thing that it really gets hit by is ground type hits, and like at least super effectively. And it's just going to be really a real pain to deal with that thing because a lot of my Pokemon can deal with it, honestly. Regirock, not expecting him to bring that, honestly, even though I do pack the Mega Pinsir, and that is a perfect Mega Pinsir check. But I still don't think he is going to bring it, and same, I don't think he's going to bring the Tornadus Incarnate just because it doesn't really deal with my team as well as some of his other mons. But yeah, what I'm expecting him to bring is Mega Blastoise for sure. Obviously Kyurem and Clefable, just because that core right there is amazing. There's not really much I can do about it. Then if you look at it, Galvantula for support. I don't know if he's going to bring the Diggersby or the Emboar, but I was thinking maybe, I know he's going to bring Bronzong because it hard walls my Latios completely. I could run Shadow Ball, but it doesn't really do that much. It's still not a 2-hit KO if I'm running Life Orb. And then he could potentially bring the Drapion just because of the fact that Drapion can Pursuit Trap me and just hit me hard with a knockoff, and I don't necessarily have too many things that appreciate knockoffs. So that is his team. I will go into the team builder portion of my team. So we bring Eon, our Latios, and we are actually going to run these Scarf variants with Victo Meteor, Psyshock, Tailwind, and Trick. So the reason why we're running Scarf is because of the fact that I wanted something to always fall back on just in case his Kyurem is Scarf, and I don't want to get swept with a Scarf Kyurem, put it that way. He could lock himself into a Dragon type move, then I could switch into my Fairy type, but I don't want to rely on that, especially if he's not choiced. So I always wanted something that I could rely on to kill the Kyurem if I needed to. So we are running the Scarf Latios, and the reason why we are running Tailwind is because if you look at his team, it's not extremely fast, but it can definitely outspeed me, especially with the Galvantula. The Galvantula is a problem if he sets up webs. So anyway, Galvantula, not something I want to deal with. I will show you my answer to it, or my half answer to it. I don't necessarily have a full answer to it. It's all depending on rolls and how Showdown wants to play it out. But anyway, Trick is really nice for the Clefable or the Bronzong, because if I give that a Choice Scarf, it honestly can't do too much. You'll see later in the game that maybe I should have saved the Trick, but you'll see. And then Draco's just nice stab. Honestly, it hits pretty much everything for at least a lot of damage, except the Clefable and the Bronzong, which are obviously his switch-ins to my Latios. So that is the reason we were running Trick, because I want to trick one of those two. And then Tailwind is really nice because of the fact that I can get up some speed versus him. So we'll go into one of our two sweeping mons. I brought 2 sweeping mons. We are running the Life Orb on Mold Breaker, Pangoro, Drain Punch, Knockoff, Gunk Shot, and Low Kick. Low Kick is for the Kyurem and the Mega Blastoise because they do more damage. I believe it does do a little bit more damage to things like the Drapion. It does a little bit more damage to, I'm pretty sure, Emboar as well. Not too sure about Diggersby. I'm pretty sure Diggersby will die either way. And the Regirock as well. So if I need that little bit of extra damage, it's going to be doing more than Drain Punch and its nice stab. So it could be helpful in the end. Gunk Shot is to hit the Clefable because I actually Oko Clefable as long as he's not like a max variant, and I don't think he will. Because that's just not very suggested in this league, unless he's Calm Mind, maybe that's the case. And if you guys have noticed, I'm running 90 base speed. At 180 speed, I outspeed his entire team, so if I can get a Tailwind up, if I can get a Smash Pass into this thing, I will be outspeeding his entire team with this monster. So that is just my, I guess, interpretation of how I'm going to beat him, is by somehow setting up a sweep with something, because other than that, I have no chance. If I try to play him Pokemon versus Pokemon, I will lose the matchup, because I honestly just lose the matchup. His mons are far superior versus mine than mine are to his. So, anyway, this is just nice stab. I don't necessarily need any other coverage, and Mold Breaker is pretty much, I guess, what did I run Mold Breaker for? I don't think I ran it for any reason. I'm pretty sure I ran it just because of the fact that I could potentially hit, I guess, through the armor of Drapion, the battle armor, maybe get a crit. Maybe the Sturdy on the Regirock. I'm pretty sure that is the only 2 reasons why I ran this. Oh, and maybe the Unaware Clefable. Say I get a boost into this, my Mold Breaker will go through the Unaware Clefable, which should be pretty nice. So that is another reason. Next Pokemon, it's their other sweeping Pokemon, is the Life Orb Prankster Thundurus. Now, we are running T-Bolt, Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Nasty Plot. This is really nice because Flash Cannon allows me to hit the Kyurem and the Clefable, while Dark Pulse allows me to hit the Gourgeist, the Bronzong, and things of that nature. Also just neutral damage versus a couple things like the Diggersby and stuff like that. And then T-Bolt is very nice stab versus his team, honestly. The Clefable doesn't really appreciate it. Blastoise hates it, obviously. Pretty much it kills Emboar. I'm pretty sure Drapion doesn't want to take that. And obviously Tornadus Incarnate doesn't want to take that. So it gives me nice coverage. Nasty Plot is nice versus his team if I can get a Tailwind up over a Smash Pass, because I won't have speed, I won't have attack, I'll just have speed. So it's pretty cool, and I outspeed his entire team with this thing. I think I speed tie the Tornadus Incarnate, but that's okay. Yeah, I speed tie Tornadus Incarnate because I outspeed at 180. So that is the other sweeping mon. It's pretty self-explanatory, just a hard-hitting mon. The next Pokemon, this is the most interesting set by far on the team. We're running Substitute, Amnesia, Shell Smash, and Baton Pass with Wide Herb. So if you guys didn't know, Amnesia raises my specialty defense by 2, so I'm trying to get a boost in stats and swing into something else and pretty much set up a sweep. So the idea is try to get up my rocks up, try to get up some screens. I have some screens on DNT, I will let you know here in a second. Try to set up some sort of sweep. It's really built around that, honestly, and that's the only way how I see myself winning this game. So anyway, that is what we're trying to do here. We have Sanguine, our Gorbis, and honestly, yeah, I have no attacking moves on this thing. I had a couple sets in my mind when I first started building this team. One of them was Whirlpool, so I could potentially trap the Bronzong, and all he could do is potentially Gyro Ball me. And yeah, that would be very, very nice if I could just lock him into that. But unfortunately, I don't think anybody stays in on a Gorbis when they have their Bronzong in, unless they're trying to set up rocks, but I still don't think that's a good idea. So most of the time, they're just going to switch out, so that led me to just use Amnesia instead. What this allows me to do is potentially set up a Shell Smash, set up an Amnesia, and potentially get some substitutes up on the Mega-Blastoise, so it could not break the substitute, which would be fantastic. So that was my thinking right there. Maybe it's not the best idea, you guys don't have to agree with it at all, but it's one way that I thought, hey, this might work, just because the fact that most of his team is specially attacking mons, and I don't really have many excuse me, I don't really have too much versus his special attackers, so that was just my thinking behind it. Also, it could have potentially made me live some Giga Drains by the Gourgeist, if that is what he was running. I don't know if Gourgeist is a physical or special attacker. I didn't really look into it. I didn't think he'd bring it. But anyway, that was what I was thinking with my Gorbis. And the other Pokemon we have here to help support the setup is the Diancie. And now Diancie is just rocking Mono Diamond Storm, Dual Screens, and Stealth Rock with Light Clay to allow the screens to stay up a little bit longer. This is pretty self-explanatory. I pretty much just use it as a rocker and a potential screen setter. I don't really have any other use for it, honestly. It doesn't really beat any of the members of his team one-on-one. Maybe the Tornadus Incarnate. That's about the only mon it beats 1v1, but just getting up rocks and getting up screens is what I want it to do. So that's pretty self-explanatory. No specific EVs, just to make it as bulky as possible. I'm pretty sure my defense investment, after a Reflect, I can live 2 Iron Heads, as long as he's not like Adamant Band or Adamant Life Orb. So that might be the defense for you. Now here's my deck. The Galvantula setting up webs is I'm running Earthquake, Icicle, Spear. So breaking the Sash and then trying to kill it, and then Ice Shard is just nice coverage just in case Crispy is Scarf, maybe I could kill it with that. And then Superpower is just neutral damage versus the Bronzong, the Drapion. It actually is pretty nice for something like Diggersby as well, Kyurem-Black too, so that's just the Mamoswine set. There's not really too much to it. Mamoswine can't really do too much while Bronzong's in the field, so that is the team we're bringing. We'll hop right into the battle for you guys. So, yeah. He brings pretty much everything we expected him to bring. The Bronzong, the Clefable, the Blastoise, the Galvantula, the Kyurem-Black, and the Drapion. So maybe not seeing Diggersby or Emboar is kind of a surprise, but we knew he was going to bring almost everything else. So honestly, I still have my plan here. I saw the Galvantula, and I'm going to go ahead and lead the Mamoswine. So I'm going to go ahead and lead the Mamoswine as he's going to go ahead and lead the Galvantula. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Icicle Sphere. And I actually get a crit, and I ended up getting 4 hits, which is really nice. If I got 4 hits, I would have killed anyway. But the crit helps definitely. So I'm able to get rid of the Galvantula, and I'm obviously going to switch out on the Blastoise. As he goes straight for the Dark Pulse, which is a very, very bold play, but good protection on his part. I could have went into anything else, but that's fine. Latios is now down to 6%, but I just go ahead and set up a Tailwind. I didn't want to trick right away, just in case he wanted to stay in. So I'm able to get a decent switch into the Pangroa here, as his Gyro Ball does 50% because of the fact that I have a Tailwind up, so I'm faster. As he just goes straight into the Blastoise, as I go for the Drain Punch, predicting him to either switch out or have a Cold Berry. So get the Drain Punch, and I'm able to live as Low Kick is able to kill him because it does more than the Drain Punch, which is pretty cool. So we're up 6-2, or excuse me, 6-4. And now he brings out this thing while Tailwind is out, so I'm obviously going to switch out. And he goes for the Earth Power, which is a very, very bold play because I'm pretty sure I would have lived that and the Kyurem would have died if I would have stayed in. But Pangroa is too important at this point, so I didn't want to. As he's just going to eat up the Superpower, it was the right play, just go out into this thing, or Fable even. But this is the safest play, and he just goes after that. I go out into my Latios, predicting him to set up rocks, and now I'm going to go for the trick, predicting something else, or him to just kill me, but I'm able to give him the Choice Scarf, which is what I wanted. So now he has a Scarf Bronzong, which is totally useless, honestly, but he did get up his rock, so he doesn't necessarily need it anymore. As I'm just going to set up another Tailwind because there's really nothing stopping me. So Latios just setting up the Tailwinds. Doesn't really do too much for me this game. Got 2 Tailwinds up, which is pretty useful, I guess. I'm just going to go out into my Pangoro again because of the fact that he has no resistances to everything I am throwing at him. Drain Punch is doing 59%, which is fantastic. As he goes for the Poison Jab, which does not get a Poison, which is awesome, and I'm going to outspeed him and kill him with the Drain Punch here. So this is a pretty crucial play up here too. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. He goes out into this and then goes into the Bronzong on the Gunk Shot because he knew that this thing got Gunk Shot. I didn't know if he knew. Obviously, I'm still going to go for the Gunk Shot play because I can just go for the knockoff next. So I'm able to kill the Bronzong because I still outsped it even though it was Choice Scarf. And now he just goes in to beat down his Kyurem, and I have no switch in, so I'm just going to pretty much sack off the Mamoswine here because I don't necessarily need it. It's not going to do anything the rest of the game. And now I think I go into my Diancie here, trying to set up my screen. So it looks like he is choiced. I'm not too sure which one he is. So I go for the Diamond Storm first because the fact that in case he wanted to stay, I wanted some decent damage off on him. And now I'm just going for the Light Screen. So I get my Light Screen up. I do have the Light Play, so they will stay a while. And it's only doing 12%, which is pretty cool. So it looks like he is the Wish for Fable. So it looks like he's going to be unaware. And I go into my Gorvis here, trying to pretty much win this game. So he goes into, or he gets the Moonblast drop, which really sucks, which wastes my White Herb, which is actually very unfortunate. I go ahead and set up a substitute because it's not doing enough behind a Light Screen. Go ahead and set up an Amnesia, and as he gets a crit, which doesn't really matter, so I'm going to set up another substitute. But unfortunately for us, he gets yet another crit, and that means I can't really set up a Shell Smash. So that really sucked. I was kind of banking on the fact that I could get one more turn, then do a Shell Smash, Baton Pass into something else. And now I go for the Nasty Plot here, still not thinking he's unaware. But unfortunately for us, he is. So I'm just going to go for the Flash Cannon here, as it's only going to do 49%. Even if he wasn't unaware, put it this way, he was very, very specially defensive. A max defensive set was doing about, I think Flash Cannon was doing about around 60 to 70%. So I get a crit there, do 70%. As you can see, he is almost max SpDef, which is really unfortunate for us because the fact that this thing can't really do anything now. So at this point, the only way I can win is Pangoro because I do have a stab on that can kill both things. Actually, I could potentially win with Diamond Storm on the DNC as well. But other than that, that's the only way I can win. So I just have to keep going in for this. I actually switch out in case I needed to sack something. So I go into this because I know he's just going to click Protect, and now here's where the 50-50 comes in. I have Gunk Shot, I have Drain Punch, so Gunk Shot kills this, Drain Punch kills the Kyurem. So I go for the Drain Punch, predicting him to go out into the Kyurem, as I go for Drain Punch again, predicting that again. So it's just a 50-50. You guys might not agree with my play. I could have potentially killed him with Gunk Shot, and then my Pangoro would have been down. There would have been between the DNT and the Kyurem. So DNT honestly could have potentially beat him with the Diamond Storm, but then again, he's just going to keep Wish passing. So at this point, there's almost no chance for us to win. I would need like a double or triple crit with my Diamond Storm and him misplaying and not clicking Wish. So at this point, there's not too much to say. It really all depended on the Pangoro, and it's just unfortunate that the Pangoro decided to, or that he didn't switch to the Kyurem. So not really much we could do. It's a 50-50. I almost accepted a loss as soon as I saw his team because of the fact that my team just matches up so poorly versus his. But that's no reason to just not play your week. So I'm gonna finish this, and then as soon as I see him, or as soon as I run out of Diamond Storms, there's no way I can win because Thundurus dies on rocks and Gorbis doesn't have an attacking move. So I run out of Diamond Storms, and then I click the X. So GG to Adam the Bee's Knees. He definitely deserved the win. Played good enough. It just came down to 50-50 at the end. So I mean, nothing really can really do about that. I'm definitely accept this loss much more than the loss that we took versus Alpha, because of the fact that I could have changed the outcome of that match, because of the fact that we hidden power iced instead of T-bolting on the Weezing. But anyway, we go to 4-2, not extremely bad. The only bad part is that I believe I am technically in 3rd place now in our league. It all depends if, not our league, our division, because the fact that our division is apparently way tougher than everybody else's. Yeah, or at least the records are better than everybody else's, which is really weird. I thought this league or this division would be one of the worst ones, but anyway, yeah, we go to 4-2. I believe Alpha is 5-1, and I believe Eric has not played Turbo yet, so it all depends on that. We're definitely not in 1st place anymore. I can tell you that though in our division, which is kind of unfortunate, but there's still plenty of time in the league for us to get that back, so I'm not too worried about it. So like I said, GG to Adam, definitely deserved, and we'll move on to the next week, and I believe next week we play on Mighty Mamoswine. I have to double check, not too sure, but I will keep you guys updated, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. So I will see you next time when we play whoever it is on week 7. So see you later, guys. Have a good day.